Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here, doing this video because of course the huge news right now all over YouTube, all over just media in general, is Pepsi being in a lot of trouble. Everybody's mad at Pepsi. It's either you're mad because you're considered an SJW and you're mad because it's pandering to SJWs, or some people are mad because they're mad at SJWs for being mad at the commercial. So everybody's mad for some reason, except for people like me. I just don't really care. I think they screwed up. I guess if you had to put me somewhere, I guess I'm an SJW for that, because I do think they screwed up. I don't know if I personally don't think it's pandering. I think they just thought that was a good idea, which is really it wasn't. But it's just funny. Like, if more than anything, I laugh at stuff rather than get mad. So this just made me laugh because I was like, what's the big deal? I don't even know how I realized it was news. I actually heard about it on the radio, but I didn't know what I was hearing about because I caught like literally the end of the conversation, the part where Kendall Jenner actually hands the cop the Pepsi, and people were liking it to the picture of the woman, of course, in front of the riot police. And I'd heard that part, and I was like, okay, that's something that's compared to that, so it made people mad. But I didn't know it was about that Pepsi commercial. And then I finally somehow found the commercial earlier, and once it got to the end, I was like, oh, this is what they were talking about on the radio. I was like, I guess I get why people were mad. I wouldn't have instantly compared it to that because she handed the cop that. I'm like, if you hand anyone that, you can compare it to that picture. Personally speaking, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know if people are kind of stretching, but at the same time, it was, a whole protest deal. So considering that, you could easily liken that image to her handing him the Pepsi to that very famous picture. So I'm like, I guess I could see that, but it made me laugh because more than anything, it's just not a good commercial. I mean, even outside of whatever they thought, like speaking to protests and stuff, I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to take like really crazy protests and stuff that's like super serious and sometimes really out of control, to just some like 60s era stuff where it's just people in fields like they're high and stuff. Like people are just walking with peace signs and stuff. And I didn't see a single like speaker or microphone in there once. I'm like, that's totally unrealistic. People just dancing. A dude was first off, he was on the building. He was like on the top of the building, like he dropped out of a helicopter playing the cello. So I was like, all right, that's a cool shot, but it started off like any other commercial where it doesn't really tie into anything that's happening. And then, it goes through some random stuff. We have the woman who's looking at her pictures, and then she gets mad like halfway through the commercial, and she's like about to go Super Saiyan, so she screams. And so she goes out, or at least she looked out the window. I don't think we actually even see her in the crowd. Like, it showed her look at the crowd. Or no, she was in the crowd. She took the picture of Kendall Jenner towards the end. But it was like these people just doing random things, and then here she is, she's posing and stuff. It's like, oh, there's a protest, look at that. So it was just weird the way they even did the commercial. And then the cello guy who took his cello through to a protest, he was just walking around, no big deal. He was at home or something. He was clearly on the roof and he teleported to his house or somewhere. But then he's like, I should probably just walk with this thing on my back through this protest, so that made sense. And then he looks at her and she's like, okay, well, let me change my clothes and everything, which I love how they did that, because at first she just took the wig off and she wiped her lips, and then I'm like, okay, so did she walk and like phase out of her clothes like, a magician or something? Because she just walked away and then she was in something totally different. I was like, just some stuff, like, this is seriously just like basic logic stuff. I was like, that just doesn't even make sense. You can take a wig off, you can wipe some lipstick off, but literally changing clothes from one scene to the next didn't even make sense. I was like, is that supposed to be like she's more normal now because she was in like a jean jacket? I guess that was the point. But I was just like, this is weird. This is just not a good commercial in general. It's not really that great. But of course, it's like, it was almost like a Super Bowl commercial where it had nothing really to do with anything until like the very end. And it's like, oh, okay, now you see it's Pepsi, because you wouldn't really know that outside of one of the peace signs was the colors of Pepsi. But yeah, I can see why people are upset about this commercial. And, we get to the end, and she ends to do the Pepsi, and I love all the tweets that have come out of that because it's been amazing. Because, of course, that wouldn't have stopped anything. Even in this commercial, I'm like, I like Pepsi more than Coke. I know a lot of people are like, that's the whole big thing now. But I'm like, I don't know, you give me a regular Pepsi, that ain't doing much. Like, if it was a wild cherry Pepsi, maybe that's different, because that's like one of my top 3 pops. Or sodas, I don't know how many people might see this. But yeah, I'm like, all right, this is normal Pepsi. And then there's another version I saw. I guess they do this because, different, markets buy different versions of the pop. And in one version I saw, she gave the dude like Pepsi Max. I'm like, if you give me a Diet Coke, I'm probably going to be more likely to hit you in the head, because that's nasty. The Diet Pop is disgusting to me. Like, I've had it before, it's gross. But I was like, okay, Pepsi stops everything. It didn't even stop anything. Like, they were cheering. That was another thing, because I was like, okay, she gave him the Pepsi. You can give me a stick of gum, I'll eat it. as long as I don't think you like poison, put laced it with something, I'm probably gonna eat it if I'm just standing there bored. I'm like, yeah, I like chewing gum, sure. It doesn't mean you want anything, and they're cheering and stuff, and I'm like, the guys didn't move out of the way. It's not like he took the Pepsi and like stepped sideways or something. Like, go ahead. It was like, no, he stood there, and then he just looked at the guy like, I like Pepsi. That's basically the face he made. It was like, I got a Pepsi, sweet. And they were still standing there, but everybody was cheering like it was over. I'm like, they didn't move, nothing happened. It was like, just even in the logical sense of the things that were playing out, it was like the cello stuff didn't make sense. The outfit thing just out of nowhere. Of course, the whole Pepsi thing, which I kind of don't hate that just because of all the funny tweets that came out of it. I'm almost happy that they did something weird like that. But like I said, even after that, all the cheering and stuff, I'm like, nothing even happened here. Like, nothing actually changed when they did that. The people just cheered. It was almost like if you did something. It's like when people do it in comedy movies where they like throw a basketball and everybody cheers even though nothing actually happened. It was just like that. I'm like, she gave him the Pepsi, and because he took that signifying sip, I guess it was just like, oh my god, we did something. So hilarious commercial to watch, if I'm being totally honest. Some people, of course, would be madder than others. Like, I think it was dumb. I don't think they should have done it because, personally, like I said, I guess you can count me as an SJW, but I do think that they kind of made light of a certain situation. Plus, they made it super happy-go-lucky. Like, there's no way they could have done this commercial and it worked, because people would have been mad no matter what. So either you make it super happy, which makes sense because it's a commercial, or you make it more realistic, and then that would have been insane, because I'm like, how the F do you make that work? Personally, I would have loved to have seen the actual, more realistic version. That would have been like, holy crap, that would make me really want to buy Pepsi if they did something that crazy. I'm sure, publicity's publicity, but we'll see what happens with them. But I know people are mad. I don't know, some people might boycott. I found out, there's like a picture, like in case you want to boycott PepsiCo, and they showed all the different companies and stuff, and I was like, man, I guess I don't actually buy anything from Pepsi outside of Hot Cheetos and the Hot Cheetos popcorn. That's it. I haven't had Pizza Hut in a while. I do love pizza. That's my favorite pizza. I'm not going to stop. I haven't had KFC, Taco Bell. I've actually had that fairly recently, but it's like, and then Pepsi I just haven't had in a minute because they're cheaper pops for me to get in the city. So it's really just a poor thing. That's the only reason I don't buy stuff that happens to be related to Pepsi. But it was funny. To me, like I said, I personally don't feel that they should have done it this way. I do think that it was a bit of a mistake for sure to just in general do this type of commercial, because there's really no way you could do it. You'd either do it and make it like no big deal sort of thing, which that's kind of exactly what happened, or you'd make it really realistic, and then that would just be its own sort of disaster where it's like, look at all this chaos. Like, even because I guarantee if that was how they did it, there would be comments like, look, even in commercials you can't say that people don't do this or go crazy and cause riots. So it'd be like, either way they did it, it would have been bad. So somebody should have just been like, maybe we just, I don't know, have a car, bring back Pepsi Man, something like that. I don't know, do something like, do like some flash dance type stuff. I don't know, like just get a car and then throw a freaking can of Pepsi at it and the dude catches it. I don't know, just do a simple commercial, because you do political stuff, you can't do it right. It's just not gonna work. No one can do it right, personally. Like, unless you're actually in it and you just recreate something that actually happened, which you still probably shouldn't do, because people will always go to like your merchandising, your product off of something that's realistic. So there's pretty much nothing you can do in a situation that's political based that will be fine. Like, you just can't. And I feel like I like Pepsi. Like I said, I'm not gonna boycott them. I'm already too poor and too cheap to even end up affording Pepsi. I just buy stuff that's $1, so it doesn't really have that big of an effect on me anyway. But as far as what's going on with them, I know they had their apology, and they even feel bad for putting Kendall Jenner in this situation. They put that up. I think that was on their Twitter or something like that. So it was kind of funny, and I just wanted to do a random video because apparently all this happened yesterday with all the chaos. So I found it today, and I'm just like, I might as well. Everybody's losing their minds over it. Every random political thing that happens, or is like someone doesn't get it, or it just causes people to almost go chaotic, it just makes me laugh, because I'm just kind of like, I'm just doing my YouTube thing. I'm just being a nerd, so I don't really care that much. And if it happened, it already happened. It's not like me saying I wish it didn't happen is going to change it. So I'm just like, it happened, I'm going to laugh at it. So that's how I personally feel. Like I said, though, if you had to put me somewhere, I do kind of wish they didn't do it this way. I just don't find it nearly as big of a deal as other people do, because I'm just like, there's been a million other things where people have done stupid stuff, and I don't expect people to stop having bad ideas or anything like that, or anything really. Like, it's just gonna be the way it is. It'll Some stuff will be okay. Some stuff will come out where it's like, that's a good thing. Some stuff like this will come out where it's really misguided and they just screw it up. And some stuff will just be blatantly, I'm doing this because I'm just an a-hole. So, you know, they're kind of in that middle right now where it's like they thought they were doing something cool and it was just a misguided attempt, and I'm fine with that. And I know people are losing it, like I said, the boycott thing. I think that's a bit far because this isn't one of those other circumstances where I feel like some people just chose to be a-holes. I really feel like they thought this was a great idea, peace and bringing people together, and they totally brought people together because everybody is hating on them right now. But might be a good time. I'm assuming it's Pepsi, so it's big. You might want to get some stock if you're interested in that sort of thing. This would be the perfect time. Buy low, sell high. So just saying for random stock advice. But we'd love to know what you guys thought about this commercial. Your thoughts on it, you know, whether you're left, right, whatever, because I couldn't personally care less. But just want to know what you guys thought about the commercial. If it made you laugh, if it made you angry, if you're angry because other people are angry about it, which I think is really like, it's just, I don't know. Personally speaking, I just find that crazy that some people are so mad at other people for being mad. But I know the whole SJW thing, and people are like, you can't. It was, I forgot what it was. People were mad because it's like, you know, you can't do anything that panders to SJWs because the people were saying a lot of stuff like they're eating themselves and things like that, which I just find really funny. Once again, just everything for me is just like, it just happens out there, and I just look at it and I'm just like, whatever, because it'll come back on me when it does. But and it kind of has a little anyway, but you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I can't change anything. If I could, that would be different. But for now, I just look in and I laugh because that's all you can really do at some points. This is just what you got. So would love to know what you guys thought about this commercial, how much you hated, how much you laughed at it, how much you probably hate that other people hate it, or how much you laugh at other people that hate it. Whatever you feel, would love to know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. So please comment below, let me know. And of course, thanks for watching.